Hello everyone and welcome back to Fallout New Vegas, where now I am going to complain about Fallout 4's storyline while doing the Helios 1 quest. Yeah, because I'm going to do Helios 1, going to do that at some point, but first I'm going to do this quest line, and then eventually get to this one, and then the main story after that. Maybe. Anyway, so one of the problems with Fallout 4 storyline has a few problems with it. I talked about some of them before, and I want to talk about the ones that affect the Institute. So here's one of the problems, one of the questions I have. Oh, hold on.
Who the hell are you?
Are you being faced?
We're...
Job.
What else? I'm in... Well, but the mirrors outside aren't aimed right, so we're... Trouble is, and that place has some crazy... They want me to make an omelet.
Oh, someone be targeted.
There's these two terminals outside. You'd have to get them to talk. Hey.
I am now.
Well, hey, if you find yourself... It needs to go to the Strip and McCarran.
Gateway power.
Because I get paid. But you know...
You get it. Okay. No, anyway, we need to strip and cap Karen. But anyway, what was that? Oh yeah, so... Why is Father in Fallout 4 dying of old age? Like, he's an old man and he's going to die from it soon. And now, that might seem like a weird question to ask, because it's, well, obvious the guy's lived a long time and he's gotten old, but it really should be a big question because the Institute has the technology to extend human lifespans. Like, they did it with Kellogg. Kellogg is gotta be at least 100... Oh, good job, Torch. Kellogg has got to be at least 100 years old. Oh, I see. But, so Kellogg has got to be at least 100 years old, and they mentioned that Kellogg was useful enough to the Institute that they kept him alive this long by, like, extending his lifespan and stuff like that. And, like, okay, sure, fine, you have the technology to do that, but Kellogg was ultimately just a mercenary. He was... he wasn't someone that valuable at the end of the day. Like even if he was a skilled mercenary, he's still just a mercenary. There's no damn way Institute mercenary is going to be as important as their scientists or as their leadership. And hell, they technically are doing it with the synths, too, in a way. Like, synths don't age. They could, like... So, since synths don't age and could theoretically live forever, but the Institute tends to use them as basically slaves for various bits of grunt work. Why aren't they giving their scientists, their leaders, and other people who are far more valuable than soldiers and slaves, at least for an organization like them, eternal life, or at least hundreds of years of life, keeping them alive for a much longer time, which would expend their usefulness. And, like, you might argue that, well, maybe they don't want to live forever. Okay, maybe some of them don't, but you won't believe me for a second that all of them, because, like, there's no indication that really any of them, as far as I remember from Fallout 4, have gotten the extended lifespan, which... Wait, 4 out of 11. Does the note say the password? Okay, it does. So, anyway... So I can't believe that all of them wouldn't at the very least want to extend their life by potentially centuries. Like, even if they don't make it for eternity, like even if the Institute doesn't find ways around things like sun eventually blowing up, heat death of the universe, which, I mean, there are ways people are theorizing we could find a way around those in our world. And in the Fallout universe, they're, like, where certain things, where they have definitely more advanced technology in some areas, and some things that are possible in it that just aren't here, like, I mean, some of the medical tech regarding brains and such. There's no doubt they'd be able to eventually. So basically what I'm saying is, why aren't there more people in the Institute who are hundreds of years old and aren't essentially grunts or slaves? Now, even if you say, okay, maybe they don't want to live forever, maybe there's just some culture going on, okay. Okay, but even if they don't necessarily want to live forever, maybe they should want to go through the rigors of old age, because old age sucks. And even though old people can be wise because they have a lot of experience, they also have problems with their brains, like oh, neat. They have problems with their brains, like senility. So basically, yeah, you do get wisdom for a time before your brain starts going. But if you keep the guys young and, say, have them euthanized when they decide they're done living, then that would be a way to give them the wisdom of an old man without the brain issues, though personally I think the Institute would just make them live longer, because once again, pretty much everyone in the Institute seems to be a tool to serve them to one extent or another. Even scientists, or at the very least in Father's place in the Institute, that's how they treat it. So you think that they keep their best scientists eternally young for the same reason why they keep Kellogg eternal youth as a tool, but they don't do that, and I don't really think there's an explanation why, and I think here's the reason why. Because Fallout 4 isn't really interested in world building or logical schemes or stuff like that. I think they really just wanted the twist that Father was an old man. So they built the story around that twist. That Father, your character's son from the start, is now an old man. So they wrote the story, the Institute and the tech, around that twist. It's a bit like the Nick Valentine thing. How Valentine... Okay, this is running out of ammo. I'll switch to something else. Yes, this, maybe? But a bit like how with Nick Valentine, a gangster taunts him by saying, Valentine, you getting hungry in there? Even though he knows that Nick Valentine is a synth who doesn't eat. How confusing this is in Let's Go. So a taunt of... So telling someone who doesn't eat and getting hungry doesn't make any sense, but they were doing this deliberately to hide the twist from the player. So, yeah, what I think is that... Oh, take these. Damn it. Anyway, so what I think is that, rather than coming up with a concrete thing, the writing process at Bethesda for the Kellogg storyline was they were like, okay, have the guy shoot the player's father, and the whole twist we're trying to build up to is that the head of the shoot the player's wife, take his son, and the twist we're building up to is that his son is now the head of the Institute, only he's an old man. But then they realized, oh wait, if that happened, then Kellogg would logically be either so old that he wouldn't be able to fight anymore, or he's dead. So they gave the Institute ways to extend a life. So they said, oh yeah, the Institute extended his lifespan. And then they just forgot about it without going into the other things the Institute could do with that, the other implications of it on their faction, and without even giving an explanation for why the Institute scientists aren't like hundreds of years old. God, like... And the Institute as a whole doesn't really make much sense, so I think yeah, once again, they don't have an explanation for why the Institute is replacing people with synths. Now, to a certain extent, an organization replacing people with slave robots, it actually can make a degree of sense. Like, if they're replacing powerful people among the Commonwealth to control it from the shadows with people they need, like scientists, and the Institute does both of those, so give them credit there, but from that point on, they need, what's their endgame? Because the Institute also replaces random people with synths who they would have no benefit of replacing them. Like random farmers and such. And it's like, okay, why are you doing this? Why are you replacing random people with synths? How does that benefit you? And there isn't really an explanation, because when you ask Father about it, he basically just says, oh, you wouldn't understand our plans. Okay, well, try me. Maybe I would. No, but that's really just code for Bethesda saying we didn't want to explain it, or we couldn't come up with an explanation. Now, the YouTuber Oxhorn, given a lot of credit for coming up with this, came up with a theory that the Institute is trying to replace everyone in the Commonwealth with synths over time. And he does have some evidence for it. However, that theory itself doesn't make a lot of sense. Now, it is, this is no bad thing to Oxhorn, because, like, it's a pretty good theory with what we have. It's just that, well, what we have is garbage, because, like, the Institute isn't replacing people with synths at anywhere near a rate they would need to in order to replace everyone in the Commonwealth with synths. Like they need to replace far more people at a far faster rate. Because here's the thing, synths don't age. Eventually, people are going to figure out how to tell who's a synth, because, well, just look at the guys who aren't growing old.
This area clear.
And, like, human aging happens, like, so someone becoming an old man, that takes a while, sure, but there are signs of aging even a few years apart. Someone who's 21 doesn't necessarily look the same as someone who's 25, even if they both look young. So I mean, the same person at the doesn't necessarily look the same, even if they're both, even if, like, he's still young. He's going to show some signs of getting older, or appearance changing in some ways. And so, basically, people would pretty quickly realize, like it wouldn't take that long for people to figure out who the synths are. Like, and the Institute doesn't really have much of a motive for it either. They're pretty much already getting just about everything they want. So I mean, for the replacing people with synths plan, and like at a certain point, unless they, like, I mean, like, I just don't get it. They just, okay, maybe they hate everyone in the Commonwealth. Father sort of implies this, and they're basically doing genocide for hatred and ideological reasons. But, once again, aside from Father, there doesn't really seem to be all that much implication straight up. And once again, they're not doing it, like, they're not killing everyone, they're not, like, replacing people with synths fast enough. Sufficient, restore power, okay. Do we go up here? Or what? Hello? Oh. Okay. But yeah, the Institute just isn't replacing people fast enough to get what it wants. Oh. Good. Neat. Anyway, there aren't that many factions in the Commonwealth. But, well, I mean, yeah, I mean, like, I just don't know what the Institute's endgame is. Like, configure power grid. Yes, I'm carrying Las Vegas script. There. Okay. But yeah, observation deck. Like, what is their endgame? Are they just going to sit down there? Because, like, even if you destroy the other factions as the Institute, meaning, in this case, the Railroad and the well, not the Minutemen, they'll just do it, and the Brotherhood, the Institute basically just sends a few guys to patrol the Commonwealth, like, and that's about it. Activate during peak sunlight hours, 9 a.m. 9. Oh, I just need to wait. Okay, so yeah, I can just go around while I wait. Anyway, the Institute. Oh yeah, so the Institute's plan doesn't make any damn sense. And so the factions that the Institute needs to destroy to win are the Brotherhood of Steel and the Railroad. The Railroad are basically a small resistance group that like are annoying primarily because they only care about synths. I think I talked about them before and what makes them stupid. Like, God, but to give an analogy, the Railroad are not like the actual underground railroad they're based on. For like simple reason. The railroad they're based on. Because in the Underground Railroad circumstances, it was really only black people and maybe a few white slaves. And so obviously it makes sense that they're focusing on black people, but in Fallout, well, there's an entire theme park filled with raiders who are enslaving people. Slavery happens to humans all the time, and quite frankly, the nuclear wasteland is a much worse place to live than the southern states in the like, 1800s. In any case, it's like a very different scenario. And ultimately, like, it's a very different scenario, and ultimately the Railroad is only focusing on one group of people who are suffering when everyone is suffering. And of course, I don't think don't even mention that they're treating the people of the Commonwealth as if they're far less accepting than they actually are, but I went over that stuff, but anyway, moving on, the Institute's plan makes no sense, and they don't really seem to have an end goal, so, oh wait, what I was talking about. What I was talking about was, oh yeah, Brotherhood of Steel. So the Brotherhood of Steel are newcomers, and the Railroad are essentially a small group of resistance fighters, more or less, against the Institute. Everything else seems to be as the Institute want it to. Like, they want everyone to be disorganized out there in the Commonwealth, presumably so no one can challenge them. But the Institute also, but also the Institute, or maybe they just got impatient. Like, it's a bit difficult to say because the Institute doesn't even, like, the best we get is that they got impatient that the legal process, when they were trying to organize a Commonwealth government, was taking too long, so, or something like that, I don't fully remember, but they started shooting people. But then there's a question of, oh yeah, why, what is their goal? Like, do they just want to keep the people of the Commonwealth disorganized so they can replace them with synths and just keep getting resources from the surface world? How would that, like, help them in the long run? Why, like, or rather, how would that help them in the long run more than just coming in and taking over with their army of synths? Hello. Like, with the Minutemen disorganized, they have the chance to take over, but they don't do that until the Railroad are gone and until the...
But don't worry, I'll tell them what you did for me. Keep...
There. Alright, where's that? Oh yeah. But, like, they don't just go in and take over for a while. Like, until a faction that's a newcomer and a small resistance group are destroyed, when really, if they wanted to take over, and even though they don't really fully take over, they just patrol around with a few groups of synths, But if they wanted to take over, they should have done it when the Minutemen were pretty much a ruin. So I don't know what their goal is. Yeah, like, now this... Okay, let's do this one now. So yeah, that's my rant about the Institute. Oh, yeah, then there's another problem with them. Okay, so the Institute are the most advanced faction in Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 4. They're meant to have much more advanced technology than anyone else in pretty much the entire Commonwealth. Like, all their robots use energy weapons, which, in Fallout lore, are pretty... You know what, I'm gonna go ahead and sell some stuff, like get more ammo, hopefully, too. But... the Institute... But here's the problem that I have with them being the most advanced. So, energy weapons in Fallout lore, and if they existed... Okay, so energy weapons do sort of exist IRL. The main problem with energy weapons as a thing is that ultimately they aren't as energy efficient as things like normal pistols and normal rifles. And, like, you can get the weapon... Like, you can kill people with normal pistols and rifles with much more efficiency, energy-wise, than you can with like, energy weapons, which is why they haven't, for the most part, caught on, though if you count flamethrowers as energy weapons, sort of, and there are some niche uses for them. Maybe with advanced technology we'll be able to solve the energy issue, like, that's entirely possible. But in any case, they are, like, right now it looks like we might not, like, that, like, they will never be as efficient as regular firearms, but for all we know, we could figure out a way eventually. But anyway, back to the main point. My problem with the Institute's energy weapons is that they suck. They're some of the worst energy weapons in the game. Like, these guys are supposed to be the most advanced faction, but their energy weapons are just crap. They're not even as good as the stuff the random raiders have. Why is it so, like... Why are so, like, they're allegedly advanced, but their weapons suck. It's kind of like one of my complaints with the vampires from Skyrim, that the vampire armor isn't even as, like, until you get to, like, the royal leather... Okay, as far as light armor goes, the royal leather, like, the vampire lord leather armor is actually pretty good. But the base vampire armor is, like, really weak. If I remember right, it's not even as good as normal leather armor. When I think it should at least be slightly better. But, like, you'll pretty quickly find armor that's way better than it, even at low levels. And most vampires aren't exactly... Well, some are low-level enemies, but a lot of them aren't. Well, I suppose that depends on how you define low levels, but basically the vampires should have better armor. Now, the... Oh, there is you, Lucy. Let's see what's in here. Nothing... okay. Where was I at? Oh, yeah. The vampires... So the Institute energy weapons are crap, despite them being the most advanced faction in the Commonwealth. So, what the fuck is going on with that? Oh, going past it. That, like, why don't they have better weapons? Like, literally, normal laser pistols are better than the Institute's at laser pistols or whatever. So, why isn't the most advanced faction have more effective weaponry? Great. I just don't get it, and... I have my... Oh, hey, how's it going? Hello?
Howdy, friend.
Tell me more about the job.
The job is simple. Help us get this caravan in design and find new You'll get a bonus if we make it in design. Oh, one more thing.
Okay, got it. Who is he?
Just don't. It makes the new Canaanites powerful uncomfortable. And don't talk about the Burn Man either.
Alright, oh, this class.
We're a smaller company out of Sacktown. Had a nice run to Salt Lake City, too, but Then we lost contact with...
This thing.
You ain't wrong. Losing the Salt Lake City run really stung us. If we can't reestablish... Without New Canaan's mission in Zion, the only ways to... The highway's too risky. NCR's rangers are so busy here in the Mojave. Ogden's... Don't know much about them. Hey. Shoot.
Alright.
I bet you are.
Why the weight limit?
You ain't never been to Zion, have you? We'll be passing through a big...
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll be back. Okay, so that means I need to dump some of this weight. Okay, then, let's see what I can give him. Okay, don't care about this. 130. Okay, so, give him the King's outfit. Why not? Let's see, let's do weapons first. Yeah, like so. Oh, good.
Are you here to...
There you go.
I bet...
Wait, less than 75? Okay.
There's a chest over yonder. You can still...
Ah, no, I'm not. I'm giving it to Rex. Okay, let's see. I'll just do all this, but yeah, like so. I really do not like the Institute. Is it 75 or 70? I guess I'll find out.
Are you here to...
Okay, ready?
Are you now? I don't want no...
Yes, I'm sure.
Well...
Alright. God. And I have my complaints about the Brotherhood of Steel and Fallout 4 as well.
The paths we're following are slow going.
Okay.
So you might as well
But-
keep your ears open and listen to what old Jed has to say.
And yeah, and they'll
A
listen.
few decades back. Folks
Okay,
in
look,
the
my
East
complaint
and
about the
Young
Brotherhood of
started to
Steel,
hear
I'll try
about
to
a
be
community
fast,
in northern Utah
is
called
that
New
the
Canaan.
Brotherhood of Steel is
Didn't know
pretty
much
much
about
just
them,
whatever
except
Bethesda
that they were
wants them to
religious
be.
folks,
They're
sent
not a
out
consistent
missionaries to talk
faction
to the
anymore,
tribes.
really. Just
We've
like
seen our share of
in Fallout
cults,
4, they're
but the New
obviously a form of
Canaanites,
villain. In Fallout
they
3,
were
they're more
honest traders.
heroic in nature, but
Good
like they
fighters,
pretty
too.
much are just whatever Bethesda
Raiders
wants them to
wouldn't
be,
tangle
even
with them.
somehow being
But
included in
then,
Fallout
the
76,
Legion appeared in Arizona.
despite that making no
reckon
sense
you
with the
know all about
timeline.
them. Turns out Caesar's first war chief, the Malpace Legate, was a New Canaanite, Joshua Graham. Legend goes that Graham was the meanest, toughest son of a bitch in the whole damn Legion. The New Canaanites wouldn't talk about him. They were ashamed. Guess I can't blame them. Well, at Hoover Dam, the Malpace Legate finally met his match. Hanlon and Oliver kicked his New Canaanite butt right back over the river. Caesar had to make an
Yeah,
example
like-
for the others.
God,
to show
in
them
case
that
you
even
haven't
at the
noticed,
highest level, failure wouldn't be tolerated. He had Graham covered in pitch, lit on fire, and thrown into the Grand Canyon. People say he didn't even scream on the way down. Not long after, some of the slaves and tribals started to talk. Said Graham wasn't dead. Shouldn't have been any surprise. All this talk bothered Caesar, so he forbade anyone from speaking his name.
Yes, I really don't
To
like what
erase
Bethesda did to
Joshua Graham from
Fallout.
history.
Like,
He
at
got his
all.
wish. Joshua Graham disappeared, and in his place came
In case
legends
that
of the
wasn't
burned
obvious
land
before now.
walking the wastes. Probably just a tribal ghost story. But New Canaan's been silent for a long time. Maybe it's a coincidence. Maybe the Malpace Legate is dead. Or maybe Joshua Graham did crawl out of that canyon and finally found his way back home. All right, people. Been a long couple of weeks, but here we are. Zion. I know your feet hurt.
God,
I know you're
really,
tired.
like,
but I need
I mean,
everyone's
Fallout 4,
mind
I
on
could
the trail
probably
ahead.
get more views than this series if I played it, so I kind of want to do a Fallout 4 thing. But I really don't like the story of Fallout 4. I don't like its world building for the most part. Like,
God damn it, Stella
maybe I should
heard
focus
you
on the
the
few
first
things
time.
I do like
And the
about it, or...
15th too. The New Canaanites will know.
Hey,
a
where's
way.
Torch?
And if they don't,
Probably down
we got
there,
the
knowing
maps
the
on our
spawn
friend's
stuff.
good boy over there. Enough lollygagging. Get moving. And keep an eye out for tribals.
Sorry to bother you with reality.
I mean, let's see. Okay, good. He still has everything.
Who cares if we can't get
Torch
back
should
out
show
the way
up
we come?
soon.
That's not a problem.
Hope so, at least.
Hold on now. I swear
If
I
not,
had
we can
something
always
in my hand.
fast travel and see if he
God damn it,
shows up.
ambush! Cover people! Watch
The
yourself!
fuck?
I don't...
Oh, hold on. Yes, 308 rounds. Okay. Does my hunting rifle have... Yeah, it has full durability.
deserve this. My people don't even work.
Hold on. Oh, ow. Back. Oh. Oh, that was easy.
Shut the hell up!
Stay low!
Okay, give me a second. In terms of gameplay, yeah, I've focused a bit on stuff I like. So, in terms of gameplay, Call of Duty's gunplay has massively improved over its predecessors. So I will give them credit for that. That being that, and I really like how they do power armor in it. It like actually feels like power armor rather than just a suit. So yeah, I like that. Like the gameplay, like gunplay. I like the settlement building system. I'm kind of on the similar that. The settlement building is like the only good part about it. Or at least one of the few good parts. Nah. You know what? Maybe I will get that purified water. Ah, fuck. Does the torches mod not work here? Well, I'll find out sooner or later. Is this out range? Wasting ammo. Oh. Shut up. Got it. We'll take this. This looks important. Wait, what the? Why did I fail? Okay, you know what? Going to do this over again. This time going to try to save as many people as possible. There! Oh! Go forward. Got him. Better drink. Yeah, it doesn't take a weight. Fresh apple, sure. There. Okay, well, at least I'm... Nope. Hey, yes, killing him will fail the civilized man's burden quest. Can I talk to him?
Hoy, Whitelegs don't leave survivors off.
He shot the guy who was shooting at me. God, I hit the wrong guy.
You came from outside, didn't you?
It was Joshua.
Joshua Graham. He leads our tribe. He'll want to talk to anyone coming up from Southways. Guess that means just you.
Alright, let's go.
Good sists. We head east then. Joshua is at our tribe.
Interesting. It's like their party. Reveal on nearby map markers. Interesting. Looks like there's some exploration with this DLC. Anyway, moving on. I hope Torch shows up soon. I really want to do this DLC, but it's really not worth it if Torch isn't here. Or maybe it is. I don't know. I'll figure it out.
Take a closer look. There might be some good stuff tucked in there.
What is... Oh, the log? Oh, yeah. No good stuff, unfortunately. He's not good enough for me. Yeah, I guess if it's more near the cave and... Oh, that's a really nice touch. This actually looks like real Australian Aboriginal art. And yeah, I'm pretty sure these guys aren't Australian Aboriginals. Rather, mixed with races or tribalism. Hello?
That
Oh,
was
good.
some kind of lucky. Guess that one was all full of gecko, eh? Don't get used to it, though. Yaoguai are plenty mean as a rule.
Yeah, well, we're armed and... Well, I'm probably over-leveled enough that I don't have to worry that much about them. Oh, right. Should start healing. God, I spent the first half of this video, if not more, just...
Over the ridge. There's a nice view from the top of that cliff.
Okay, yeah, look. Okay, they spent... Is this a nice view? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I spent the first portion of this video just ranting about Fallout. It's a good thing it stopped me. Oh, there's a Yaoguai. Time to see if we're over-leveled for this. Or maybe just... out of range. Yeah, we are over-leveled. Kill 10 Yaoguai. Okay, I'll be killing every Yaoguai I meet. Anyway, yeah, God, like... I wonder how many... God, like, just spent video ranting about Fallout New Vegas, but... Sorry, ranting about Fallout 4, God. Is this what... Oh. Yeah, this is definitely Aboriginal inspired. It's partially...
Nearly there.
Okay, good. It was... Okay, almost there. Getting closer. Oh. Oh, oh. Wait, are these modded enemies, or is this where the modders got their... Is there one who's talking?
Fighting white legs.
Okay, sure. Didn't hear what you said, but... Yes. Which way do I go? Definitely not a straight shot. Honestly, I kind of was planning on recording something else today, but I really just want to rant about Fallout 4 since I hate it. Or at least take aspects of it. Like, it's not all bad. Many of the gameplay stuff is actually pretty good, but the story, lore, world building, none of it's good. It's pretty much just the sort of... Okay, it feels amateurish. Do we go the wrong way? And, yeah. So, alright, one of the things that I did when I was writing fan fiction is a teenager, and actually all the way into my early 20s. But when I was writing fan fiction, one of the things that I did as a new writer was I would put in stuff because it sounded cool at the time. Like, I did that a lot, and then it ended up destroying the story later on, and had to be...
Dead horses and sorrows mark them on taboo places. Places from back when.
Okay.
Good thing for you, I don't buy into that stuff.
Good. Something else to kill. Yeah, definitely love it. But anyway, where was I at? Oh yeah, the...
Down this path to the north.
Yeah, so I put in all sorts of stuff that because it sounded cool, back when I was writing fan fiction, and it destroyed the story. It ended up just causing more trouble as time went on. Especially when it came to balancing out the characters' power levels. And I ended up having to do a lot more work to fix them as I knew that I was just following Rule of Cool. So, basically,
Nearly there now. Watch out for
yeah,
traps
you
in the
really...
water.
Bear trap. Disarm.
Light gets out somehow, eh?
Basically, Fallout 4 feels like that in many cases. It, like... Or like a J.J. Like, it feels amateurish, or like J.J. Abrams subverting expectations. In and of that, they're putting in all these twists that they think sound cool, but they're not making them make sense in universe. What's that? What the fuck is trigger? Is the red trigger thing? But like, yeah, they're not making their twists in Fallout 4 make sense in universe or have logical lore or world building, and it causes things to break eventually.
Joshua's just ahead there, in the Angel Cave.
Oh, that guy's blowing up. So, yeah, like, I think we'll talk to him next time, but yeah, like, that's the main point. Fallout 4 feels amateurish, like, weird wasteland. Was it that guy raising his fist, or what? Like, it feels amateurish, like some new writers who don't really know what they're doing, going in and putting in stuff because they think it's cool, but then they don't make it actually make sense or work in universe. So, are you two sparring, or is this a mating ritual? Okay. Or is it both? I wonder, are they gonna stop doing this? Is one of them gonna die, or what? Well, I guess I'll save it here. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for watching, everyone, and remember to like, comment, and subscribe.